we come here, any of you who come here, you come here because, or not because I talk about cars. We come here and do what we do. I do what I do here. And it's not because bushcraft or wildlife, poker, money, UFOs. Well, we all come here. I come here, and anyone who listens to this comes here under the same for the same basic reason, right? I could never understand what, I would, as far as right now goes, I couldn't even fathom and try to imagine what the Messiah went through when they all fled there at the very end. We read in Mark 14 the other day. I don't know. I don't know anything. I haven't went through anything that can even compare to that. But I kind of have. I have the same feeling, but it's in nowhere near the magnitude of what he felt that day, or the whole time. Like the time when he walked alone, when they said, when he told them that he was the bread of heaven, of life that come down from heaven, and they said that this, what he says is too hard, and they wouldn't walk with him, and he walked alone on the road. I could definitely understand that. We come here, if you come here, it's not, or is it? I don't know, I mean, to my understanding, anyone that would listen to me would come because I'm talking about the Most High, His Son, Messiah, and reading from the Bible and stuff like that. Like, I don't think anyone comes here for, other reasons. Like this verse of the day here, Philippians 2:5 says, "For let this mind be in you, which was also in Messiah." And I mean, that's, everyone, could everyone agree that that's true, what that verse just said? That we're to have, be like-minded, like the mind of Messiah? I know I don't read, I haven't read from the New Testament very much, other than Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and Revelations. So let's read a little bit. For those of you who might have, if you've been wondering why I haven't, well, let's do it. If then there is any encouragement in Messiah, if any comfort of love, if any fellowship of spirit, if any affection and compassion, make my joy complete by being of the same mind, having the same love, one in being and of purpose. Doing none at all through selfishness or self-conceit, but in humility consider others better than yourselves. Each one should look out not only for his own interest, but also for the interest of others. For let this mind be in you, which was also in Messiah, Yahushua, who being in the form of the Most High, did not regard equality with the Most High a matter to be grasped, but emptied himself, taking the form of a servant, and came to be in the likeness of men. And having been found in a fashion as a man, he humbled himself and became obedient unto death, death even of a stake. The Most High therefore has highly exalted him and given him the name which is above every name, that at the name of Yahushua every knee should bow, of those in heaven and of those on earth and of those under the earth, and every tongue should confess that Yahushua Messiah is Master, to the esteem of the Most High the Father. So that my beloved, as you always obeyed, not only in my presence, but not much rather in my absence, work out your own deliverance with fear and trembling. For it is the Most High who is working in you both to desire and to work for his good pleasure. Do all matters without grumblings and disputings, in order that you be blameless and faultless, children of the Most High, without blemish in the midst of a crooked and perverse generation, among whom you shine as lights in the world, holding on to the word of life, for a boast to me in the day of Messiah, that I have not run in vain or labored in vain. In fact, even if I am being poured out as a drink offering on the offering and service of your belief, I am glad and rejoice with you all. So you too should be glad and rejoice with me. But I trust in the Master Yahushua to send Timothy to you shortly. I know that most of you don't believe, if not all of you don't believe the things I've been showing and reading and sharing. I know that. I can only imagine what people think, how they laugh, and I can only imagine. I try not to think about it a lot of times, and trust me, it's always there. It's something that I'm always aware of, but I try not to think about it too much, because it's hard enough being encouraged, to stay encouraged to do what I'm doing. And, I know that there's people that I know that they are. There's people, family members of mine that they I'm like a byword to them. Like they won't, they don't, a conversation with me is not, it's avoided at all costs. And for the longest time, they would try to, they would bring up like the way I believe or whatever, and they would try to correct me. They would try to correct me. And I'm sure at this moment in time they must feel like there's no correction. Like there's no hope for me, I guess. And I mean, and that goes on both sides. I mean, the people that know me who don't, they either don't believe in a creator, or you wouldn't know that they did, because of, they're not talking about this stuff. They don't, they don't read the word. There's those people that's been in my life that they for surely think I've went off the deep end, and then there's those in my life who think I'm wrong about my beliefs and what I've been saying. And like I was just saying, there used to be a time where they would come and it seemed like they were trying to, that they were concerned. But now, I just, and, and it's for the same reason. It's for the same reason that we're all here right now, that I'm talking and that you are hearing my voice. It's because, we read the Bible. We talk about these things. We're not interested in satanic things. We're not interested in the things of the world. This is what interests us. And what being how that, we're all here, no one's here because I'm talking about baseball. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're all here because of the same reason. And I would say the majority of us believe in Messiah. Anyone that would listen to this, they probably are someone who believes in Messiah. And we are people that, we know that we are to walk like Messiah. We are to do the things like he did, right? And I mean, those things are what sets us apart. I mean, that's what makes us it distinguishes us from the world, from the people of the world who have no love in their heart, who have no cares about what happens to them in long term, or what happens to their family. They don't They're not interested in reading the Word and understanding it. I mean, it's just absolute nonsense to those people, the worldly people. People, like I said, my family members, yeah, I can only imagine what they say, you know, and what they think. But this is what the Word tells us, and I'm sure any of you, even them, my family members, who would tell you that I'm insane, I'm sure they would agree when I say that we're supposed to love one another, right? We're supposed to love our neighbor, our brother, like we do ourselves, right? Yeah, everyone can agree with that. So, if you love me, if I love you, and you're saying something, you know, you're broadcasting something that I think's crazy and insane, would it be love for me to laugh about it and for you to become a byword in my mouth and for me to just avoid you because of the things you're saying? And is that how we're supposed to behave? Are we supposed to consider other people crazy because we don't understand what it is they're talking about? And are we to try and work out things with one another, come and love one another, or are we supposed to just shake our head, the SMH, shake our head and avoid talking to someone that is saying something that's just hard to believe? And you know, all them people that I know that are shaking their head at me right now somewhere. Anytime they've tried to tell me that I'm wrong, they've tried to talk with me, and they'll say things like, you know, there's no talking to you. That's what they say. But every time that I've asked them to open the Word up with me to look, they won't do it. How many times, how long have I been asking anyone who hears this that same question right here? And I don't even really have I don't know what to say. I really don't. Because there's people that absolutely just, they don't see what I'm saying, and they instead of coming and looking at the word with me, they would rather accuse me of being crazy and wrong and misled, but never come to show me how that is the case. It's exactly what's being said here. Do all matters without grumblings and disputings, in order that you are blameless and faultless children, holding on to the word of life for a boast to me in the day of Messiah, that I have not run in vain or labored in vain. For I have no one else of the same mind who takes a genuine interest in your welfare. For all seek their own interests, not those of Messiah Yahusha. But you know, he has proven himself that as a son with his father, he served with me for the good news. If you came and if you had been led to a truth like that, I say that I've been telling you, I've been led to, been showing you, if you've been led to it, would you not want to share it and try to cause someone to see it? You would. I think you would. I hope you would. Is that me grumbling or arguing with you, disputing with you? And if I am, I mean, I want to know. That's why I asked the question. I'm not. It just seems like every time I'm trying to show someone something, instead of them looking at it to come look at it, they act like I'm trying to be someone or something, like I'm wanting spotlight or something like that. And I don't understand how anyone could picture. I cannot understand how someone could think that. I really don't. And if I was, I've called all the people that, like I was saying, wanted to try and help me. Anytime the word came out, anytime I tried to get the scripture out, it was they fled. No one has ever came and been willing to sit down and look at it with me. They refuse. And they just keep on saying the same thing, like they're going to speak it into existence, like I want to push my beliefs onto other people. Well, is that the Messiah told the disciples to go out to the four corners of the earth and preach the good news of the reign? Is that what they did? Were they out trying to push their beliefs on other people? If I had $20,000 right now and I told y'all, come here and let's split this up, everybody gets $2,500 apiece, would y'all show up then? Who wouldn't show up to that right now? Who wouldn't show up for $500 apiece? Raise your hand if you wouldn't come if I tell you that I got $300 apiece for every head. Who ain't coming? But yet, I'm speaking the word. I'm talking the word. I'm not talking porn. I'm not talking Satan worship. I'm not talking baseball. I'm not talking about anything but the word. And no one believes me. And all of us are people who would agree that we are to have a like mind, like Messiah, that we're to love our brothers. And we're not to argue and grumble. But why is it that no one will show up and even be willing to listen to what I'm saying, to try to see if what I'm saying is true? They refuse to believe. Everyone thinks that I'm wrong, and it's just that. That's just it, I guess. I mean, there's end of discussion, right? But if I had money, there'd be no questions, no problem getting people to come and work something out with me. You can't go far. You can't go very far in just the verses to see what we're supposed to do. For I have no one else of the same mind who takes genuine interest in your welfare. For all seek their own interest, that not those of Messiah. Holding on to the word of life. To the word of life. Right here in 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 19 says, and we have the prophetic word made more certain, which you do well to heed as a light that shines in a dark place, until the day dawns and the morning star rises in your hearts. Knowing this first, that no prophecy of Scripture came to be of one's own interpretation. For prophecy never came by the desire of man, but men of the Most High spoke, being moved by the set-apart Spirit. It's not that complicated of an equation here, of a math problem that we need to work out here, Mishpachah. We all come here for the same reason. We can all agree on how we are to behave and love one another, right? Can we agree on that? Yes, we can. If I'm trying to tell you something, could it be that I'm moved by the set-apart Spirit? Could it be I'm moved by compassion and love for you? And if your answer is what I'm pretty sure it is, and that's No, because I'm wrong. I can't help you any. How can I help you? I'm wrong. I'm the one that's wrong, right? And who am I to say that I can help you? So, again, how many times do I have to say this? If that's the case, and I'm sure it is, I'm sure that no one believes this, and they think I'm wrong, and they think that I'm just whatever. So, if we're here and we all agree on the same thing, if I'm wrong, why doesn't someone come here to try to help me if I'm wrong? Why hasn't someone came and said, you know, you're wrong for doing this. This, you shouldn't be doing what you're doing and saying what you're saying. Do you realize what you're saying or doing? Why hasn't someone done that? And because if we're supposed to love one another, and I'm reaching out trying to share something with you, it's obviously not hatred. It's obviously not. It's not a quarrel. It's not a dispute. I'm trying to share something with you. So, where's the love lacking? Where is it lacking? It's because, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that most every one of you think that I'm wrong or crazy. Because if that wasn't the case, there'd be more of yous here and we would be talking about it. About what I've been seeing. Look right here in verse 19. It says in 2 Peter, and we have the prophetic word made more certain, which you do well to heed as a light that shines in a dark place until the day dawns and the morning star rises in your hearts. Do you should know what the morning star is, right? Right? Peter knew. Right here in Job. And your life, because you would forget sorrow and remember it as waters that have passed away, and your life would be brighter than noon. You would soar upward, you would be like the morning, and you shall trust, because there is expectancy. And when you have searched, you shall lie down in safety, and you shall rest, and no one would make you afraid, and many shall seek your favor. But the eyes of the wrong are consumed, and they shall not escape, and their expectancy is the breathing out of life. So, like I said, the equation, it's not difficult to do the math on this, guys. What's your expectancy? What's our expectancy? It's obviously not what I've been telling you that mine is, right? Do we all have different expectancies? Does some people get to go to heaven twinkling in the twinkling of an eye, and other people get to go where I'm saying? Is that the case? And you probably know about it. You know, that's rhetorical. I'm being sarcastic. If what I'm saying is wrong, and we only have one expectancy, and we are to love our brothers and sisters. And I'm on, and I'm a brother, and I'm on here telling you all the things I've been telling you, and you think I'm wrong. To just let me walk off a cliff, is that love? And I've been begging for someone to come talk, work this out with me. Is that what love is? So is me being off or wrong about what I'm saying, and trying to share the news of it with you, but you think it's wrong, but and clearly my motives aren't for money or the fortune and the fame, that it must be because I'm trying to do what I'm supposed to do. Is that wrong? Is that, would you say that one ought to, if you had two choices, if you had to pick between one of the two, either try and show your brothers and sisters that you love them by showing them what you found and asking them to come work it out with you, whether you're wrong or not, or just thinking that person's crazy and never answering them and just letting them walk off a cliff? Which one should be chosen out of those two as the one that we ought not ever do? And what are we talking about? What am I trying to do? Am I trying to get us to go watch Triple X movie, or am I trying to get us to go to the bar and have some drinks or do some drugs, or what am I trying to do here? I'm talking the scriptures. And you can't, like I said, you can't go far without seeing how we're supposed to follow the word. We're supposed to be doers of the word, hearers and doers. And no one's willing to come read that word that we're supposed to hear and do with me. But at the same time, they'll still continue on believing that I'm wrong and I'm crazy, or whatever the case is. That equation, I think it's definitely elementary level, Mishpaka. The answer is not hard to find. And so far, in Nahumite answered and said, should a multitude of words go unanswered? And should a man of lips be declared right? Should your babbling silence men? And should you mock and no one make you ashamed? Since you said, my discourse is flawless and I have been clean in your eyes. But if only the Most High would speak and open his lips against you and show you the secrets of wisdom, doubling your ability. Know then that the Most High forgets some of your crookednesses for you. Would you find out the Most High by searching, or search out the end of the Almighty? It is higher than the heavens. What would you do? Deeper than Sheol, what would you know? Their measure is longer than the earth and broader than the sea. If he passes through and shuts up and gathers, then who does reverse it? For he knows false men. When he sees wickedness, does he not consider it? But a senseless man takes heart when a wild donkey's colt is born of a man. If you would prepare your heart and stretch out your hands toward him, if wickedness were in your hand, put it far away, and do not let perverseness dwell in your tents. Then indeed you shall lift up your face without spot, and shall stand firm and not be afraid. Because you would forget sorrow, and remember it is waters that have passed away. And your life would be brighter than noon, you would soar upward, you would be like the morning. And you shall trust, because there is expectancy. And when you have searched, you shall lie down in safety. You have searched. And you shall rest, and no one would make you afraid, and many shall seek your favor. But the eyes of the wrong are consumed, and they shall not escape, and their expectancy is the breathing out of life. What would you say? I mean, you should be able to know what someone's expectancy is, right? Just by what they do. But I mean, if I asked you right now, like, does everyone here does everyone desire to find everlasting life and go on to live with the Most High? I'm sure everyone's going to raise their hand and say yes. If I'm telling you what I'm telling you, and I'm wrong, and you let me walk off that cliff, what's your expectancy really? What is really your expectancy? And I mean, who's wrong? If is the one that can't come search for the truth wrong? Because he or she thinks that they know, but at the same time, don't come tell me how I'm wrong? Are those the ones that are actually marching towards the expectancy? Or is someone who he offers all the time, daily, come, let's reason together, let's read these scriptures, and he might be wrong? Is he the one that's not working towards the expectancy, or is it the first one that I mentioned? It's like I said, it's easy to figure this out. Easy. And I mean, it's how hard is it to figure out? How hard is it to figure out that someone can't say something's wrong unless they truly know it's wrong? You know? I mean, we could just keep going round and round, and we could just keep proving what the proof in the pudding is here. If I'm wrong and you know it, who's really wrong? When you won't come and show me, and I've asked you to come reason with me, and you refuse. Who's wrong? It's just like the Pharisees. And I know you don't want to consider yourself to be equal with people like the Pharisees, but what did the Pharisees do when Messiah came? They sat and watched him and listened to the things he said so they could catch him up in a snare and catch him by the heel. And they asked him questions and tried to trap him. And then when he asked them questions or put them on the spot, they wouldn't answer. They were silent. And The whole time they plotted for ways to shut him up. They were worried it was that he was, what he was saying was going to spread like a disease throughout the land. And everything they said about him was false. And they just couldn't see what he was saying. They couldn't see. Was what he was saying, was he false? Was he wrong? Or was it that everything he said was 1,000,000% correct? But they wholeheartedly swore that he was wrong. And how could that have been resolved? It could have been resolved with an honest question coming from love, not coming from who does he think he is, or how dare him, how does he know more than us? I've read the Bible way more than he has. How is it that he knows? Who does he think he is? This is Joseph and Mary's son. What? Like he knows? Why was it that they couldn't see the truth he was saying? Why couldn't they understand the born again concept? Why? Because they were looking at it, all they could picture, all they could think, the only way their mind would operate when they even considered it was physical. Like they couldn't understand how a man could actually be reborn, literally. Was that what the Messiah was talking about? He wasn't. What was their expectancy? Those who thought he was talking about actually a man going back in his mom's womb. Well, their expectancy was everlasting life. I'm sure it was the kingdom. I guarantee you. But judging by what happened, not the men, not judging the men and condemning them, but judging on what was said, whether it was right or wrong, whether it will lead to an expectancy or not. What really was their expectancy? And they must not have realized it, but their expectancy was Sheol. Messiah even told them. He even said things like, your father is Satan. That's why you can't understand what I'm saying. And what did he get accused of? Blasphemy. Was he telling the truth? Was he blaspheming? Why was he able to say that Satan was their father? Was it because they only wanted to read the word and reason together with him and other people? Was that what it was? Or was it that they refused to reason? They accused, pointed fingers. They tried to trap, snare. They didn't care that that even though that they thought he was wrong and was going to be burned up in hell, they didn't try to help him. They just wanted to kill him and shut him up. Who was wrong? Who was their father in reality? Because who did they obey? Who were they working for? What kind of life were they living? If you'd have asked them, they would have said they're next in command to the Most High, that they're doing exactly what you're supposed to do, right? But what really were they doing? What they were really doing was the opposite of what we're supposed to do. They didn't love their brother. They didn't even love the Most High. What did Messiah mean when he told the parable of the owner of the vineyard that sent his servants and they killed his servants, and then he sent his son and they killed him? Why did he say that? Mishpika. And if that's not you, if you're saying right now, well, that I would never do that, prove it. Prove it. Now's your chance. Prove it. If you've heard what I just said, and you're not, if Satan's not your father, and you're not working for his kingdom, like those Pharisees were, prove it. And more grumblings and disputes, it's only going to prove that you are on that side. The only way to prove that you're not is to open your mouth and talk, work it out with your brother. And if you say I'm not your brother, whose side are you working on? It's clear. Any equation, any way you want to add this up, it's going to keep coming out the same. And just the fact alone that you can't, if I were to say right now, and what if I am right? If I am right, and you're refusing, and it's like I am one of them servants that the master sent to look at his vineyard or whatever, and you're refusing, you won't engage, you're not showing me love or courtesy or being polite, you're just either silently or just whatever, you're just saying I'm crazy without saying it to my face. How's that gonna turn out? And like I said, I could say it over and over again. If I'm wrong, why is it that you can't come show me how I am? Why can't we look and see? Why can't you show me how everything I've been reading from the scripture is not telling us about the morning star, about the key of David? How is that? And if you can't, and you just know that you're right and you don't care, it's not hard, Mishpika. And there's a reason, I'm sure you know this, there's a reason why people gnaw and gnash their teeth. It's not because they get punished for something that they knew they did wrong, and they got it coming. And it's because they're those people who say, wait a second, man, I thought you taught in our streets, we done miracles in your name. And cast out demons. What do you mean you don't know who we are or where we're from? What are you talking about? Is he going to reason with them then? Is there going to be reasoning then? The only thing he says, and it's logic, it's common sense that this is what would happen. After he's done sent his servants to you and pleaded with you, and every time you didn't respond, and you probably said I'm crazy, mocked and scoffed. And if you don't think that's mocking and scoffing, and that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, the proof is in the pudding, my friends. It's in the pudding. If you can't see what I'm saying and you don't doubt, you're not saying that I'm wrong necessarily, you just can't see it. What's your expectancy? Is your expectancy to live everlasting life? I mean, are these questions, can we not ask ourselves these questions? Can I not ask myself, what is my expectancy? What am I trying to achieve here? Because I keep making videos that get 20, 30 views, and I keep saying the same things over and over. I know that the people ain't going to listen to me, and yet I keep trying. What is my expectancy? I keep asking for people to come reason with me who don't believe it. What's my expectancy? Let's pretend we're you now. Someone keeps doing what I just said I'm doing. I'm doing. And I won't even talk about it. I won't come look. But I keep saying he's wrong. But yet I won't go look at the word with him. And I won't go try to help him. And I haven't proved to him how he's wrong. What's my expectancy? It doesn't matter if my expectancy is to ride out of here on a magic carpet ride up into the big wheel in the sky. It doesn't matter what it is. Because what the proof is I don't have an expectancy. It's to breathe out life. It's just to breathe my last breath, and whatever happens, happens. And if that's the case, if in reality I don't think anything, I don't think about what's going to happen. If reality is that I'm living life like there is no reward or punishment, and yet I'm engaging, I'm hearing, I say that I'm Yasharal, or I say that I'm 144, or I say that I'm Christian, I say that I'm whatever. But yet the proof of what I do says that I'm not, that I have no expectancy. What kind of person am I? What am I doing? Who am I lying to, and who ain't I lying to? Do I even know what I'm doing? And if you're someone that don't know the answers, but you want everlasting life, if you ain't searching and asking for the answers, what are you doing? What are you doing? Who are you trying to impress? Who are you trying to convince, my friends? If I just wanted to be right, if I just want you to think that I'm right, how come you ain't come and prove me wrong and settled this once and for all? If you dare try to, and you do what we all should do, you do what the Messiah, what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to have a mind like his. If you have that mind and you come because you think I'm wrong, and you try to show me how I'm wrong, if you do, and I see that I'm wrong, and I stop walking off that cliff, what's happened? We both have the promise of an expectancy now. If you come and try to prove me wrong, and then you end up seeing I'm right, we both have an expectancy. If you never do, and you could care less about any of it, and it continues to go on the way it does right now, and you never, you don't, your action says that you don't want, you don't care about the brothers and the sisters. You're not gonna open your mouth to them. If they're that wrong, then you can't even talk to them. If all that is the case, what's your expectancy, Mishpachah? What kind of person are you, Mishpachah? I can tell you right now, Any equation you want to throw together to see if this answer is wrong, be my guest. But in any equation, you're going to prove to yourself that you're not who you claim to be. You're not who you think you are. And you are who you think you are for reasons other than what those people are. The people that you, the way that we're supposed to be, that you think you are, you're not doing it for them reasons. There's a reason that you're doing it, and it's not right. It's not right. Because if it was, this could be settled. So, let's look right here at Revelations chapter 2 and see what it says. Verse 1. To the messenger of the assembly of Ephesus write, he who is holding the 7 stars in his right hand, who is walking in the midst of the 7 golden lampstands, says this: I know your works, and your labor, and your endurance, and that you are not able to bear evil ones, and have tried those who say they are emissaries and are not, and have found them false. And you have been bearing up, and have endurance, and have labored for my name's sake, and have not become weary. If I'm wrong, and you ain't come and proved it to me, and I've asked you to, and you won't even look at what I'm saying, what kind of labor are you doing? And yes, I understand that you don't want to hear this kind of stuff. You don't want someone to tell you about this kind of stuff. You think that I'm the one that needs told, right? Well, why ain't you telling me? Why am I telling you? One of our lives needs saved. You can obviously see that is a fact, can't you? One of us are heading in the wrong direction. One of us is wrong. Which one is it? Who's wrong? But I hold this against you, that you have left your first love. So remember from where you have fallen, and repent and do the first works, or else I shall come to you speedily and remove your lampstand from its place, unless you repent. Those people that he's talking to. Why did he tell them that? Did he think they didn't know that? Or did he know they didn't know that? Did he know that they thought wholeheartedly that they were doing exactly what they needed to do? What do you think their response would have been when he told them that? Do you think they'd have said, oh yeah, you're right, we're doing that. And we are doing that, ain't we? I'm going to work on that. Yet this you have, that you hate the works of the Nicolaitans, which I also hate. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the assemblies. To him who overcomes, I shall give to eat from the tree of life, which is in the midst of paradise of the Most High. What's the tree of life? It's the truth, isn't it? That leads you to life. And to the messenger of the assembly in Smyrna write, this says the first and the last, who became dead and came to life. I know your works and pressure and poverty, yet you are rich, and the blasphemy of those who say they are Yahudim, and are not, but are a congregation of Satan. If you can't see that the Eis Yisrael is wrong, it's blasphemy. If you're saying that you're a member of Yasharal and you love your brother, but the proof is you do not, it's blasphemy. If you think that you're right and I'm wrong and you won't come to show me how because you're above it, you're too good to do something like that, you're the fire in the Most High's nostrils. And if you do decide to show some brotherly love, and you want to be who you claim to be, and you do want to have an expectancy, and you come and you try to work this thing out with me, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Do not be afraid of what you are about to suffer. See, the devil is about to throw some of you into prison in order to try you, and you shall have pressure 10 days, but be trustworthy until death, and I shall give you the crown of life. Are you worried that you'll die or go to jail by coming to talk to me? What's stopping you? Look at who I'm talking about on internet here, on YouTube. Look at what I'm implying, what I'm encouraging people, how I'm encouraging people to see things. I would say that there's at least some risk there, isn't there? Wouldn't you agree? And am I plugging for some gold company, or am I asking you to like, share, and subscribe, or telling you about my PayPal so you can support me, and telling you that it's because of viewers like you that I'm able to get on here and do this? And thanks for your support. And if you continue, I'm not doing none of that, am I? Why would I tell you what I just told you? So you'll think that I'm somebody? Or is it so you'll see that I'm not trying to prove you wrong? I'm not trying to prove that I'm right. I'm trying to love you and the Most High. I'm trying to do what we've been told to do. And the proof that's in the pudding is that that's the case, and that if you don't come and reason, work it out, but yet you continue to say I'm wrong, the proof is that you are not doing what we're supposed to do. And that's not my reward, just to prove to you that that's what you're doing. No, my hope is that you'll snap out of it, and that you will be who you claim to be, and that you will do what we're supposed to do and love one another, and not just me, but other brothers and sisters that might be trying to spread a truthful message. And and the world, it no longer behaves like it always has. It stops killing the prophets. It stops killing the Father's Son when he sent it to his vineyard, and the truth is heard and accepted, and at least reasoned. People can reason together instead of the grumbling and quarrels and just thinking that you're right and everyone else is wrong. Right here is expectancy. Be trustworthy until death, and I shall give you the crown of life. I want the crown of life. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the assemblies. He who overcomes shall by no means be harmed by the second death. Expectancy. And to the messenger of the assembly in Pergamos write, he who has a sharp two-edged sword says this, I know your works and where you dwell, where the throne of Satan is, and you hold fast to my name and did not deny the belief in me, even in the days which Antipas was my trustworthy witness, who was killed near you where Satan dwells. But I hold a few matters against you, because you have there those who adhere to the teaching of Balaam, who taught Balak put a stumbling block before the children of Yasharal. How? To eat food offered to idols and to commit whoring. I've been telling you that the rapture theory, that's food offered to idols. It's whoring with Babylon. Babylon has brought that fantasy. And I'm sure you think that that's wrong, right? I'm sure you don't believe me. Well, are you justified by not coming to show me how that I'm the one that's leading astray, that I'm the one that's heading towards Sheol? Who is doing what they're supposed to be doing? Come prove me wrong. If you can, you'll see that I'll apologize and I'll correct myself. And if not, hey, that's on me, but your hands will be clean, won't they? So come prove me wrong. I bet you won't. I bet you don't. And why? This is the whole reason I'm saying what I'm saying. This is the motivation, because I know why. I know. You don't want to come read the Bible with me, do you? But if I had $500 to hand out to everybody, $2,500, would you come? What if I had $50,000? Would that be enough to get you to come over here and talk to me? Bet it would, wouldn't it? Yeah. See? Any way you want to slice and dice this equation, it's going to keep coming out to the same number. So you have those who adhere to the teaching of the Nicolaitans, which teaching I hate. Repent, or else I shall come to you speedily and fight against them with the sword of my mouth. That's what's going on right now. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the assemblies. To him who overcomes, I shall give some of the hidden manna to eat. Overcomes what? If you think that it's you never do deny the name Jesus Christ until you die, that's overcoming. And then if you do, you're going to get some loaves of bread that's been hidden that no one else has ever tasted before. You know what that is? That's food offered to idols. That's whoring. That's the way of the Nicolaitans, the Nicolaitans, that he hates. And if you don't believe so, come prove me wrong. I'm right here. I'll be right here waiting. Abba willing, I'll be here. And if I'm wrong, I want to know. I'm your brother and I'm asking you for help. Come do it. And I shall give him a white stone, and on the stone a renewed name written, which no one knows except him who receives it. What's that stone that everyone's going to get? Is it like a souvenir with your name on it that you're going to put up on a shelf or something? Or does that mean that you're going to live in the set apart city, the renewed Jerusalem? And to the messenger of the assembly in Thyatira, write, this says the Son of the Most High, who has eyes like a flame of fire and his feet like burnished brass. I know your work and love and service and belief and your endurance. And as for your works, the last are more than the first. But I hold against you that you allow that woman Isabel, who calls herself a prophetess, to teach and lead my servants astray, to commit whoring, and to eat food offered to idols. That lie that the Holy Land is over there, that's food offered to idols. That's whoring on high. Those names, that's whoring, food offered to idols. Come prove me wrong. And I give her time to repent of her whoring, and she did not repent. Who's not repenting? Who's not even willing to look to see who's repenting or not? If I believe, if I didn't care that you, if that's how I see it, and I didn't care about you and only wanted to brag myself up or boast of myself, why wouldn't I just not say anything? Why would I be on here over and over knowing that the response I always get is going to be the same response? Why? I have an expectancy. See, I am throwing her into a sick bed, and those who commit adultery with her into affliction, great affliction, unless they repent of their works. And I shall slay her children with death. Is that an expectancy that any of us should want? And all the assemblies shall know that I am the one searching the kidneys and hearts, and I shall give to each one according to your works. Your works is ignoring me, laughing at me, mocking me, scoffing, never coming and reading the word, what we're reading about right here, to see and to help, to love, service, relief, endurance. Are you who you think you are? I'm thinking one of us isn't who we think and claim to be. Yeah. And I think one of us, whoever it is that isn't who we claim and think we are, I think that person needs to best wake up, don't you? Would you agree with me on that? Can you agree that whoever that person is, their expectancy is gnawing and gnashing of teeth, and they best figure it out soon? I think that's pretty safe to say, wouldn't you? And to you I say, and to the rest in Thyatira, as many as do not possess this teaching, and who have not known the depths of Satan, as they call them, I am not putting on you another burden, but hold fast what you have until I come. What did they have? Love, service, endurance, works, labor. They're not okay with stumbling blocks and food offered to idols in the Nicolite way. And he who overcomes and guards my works until the end, to him I shall give authority over the nations, and he shall shepherd them with a rod of iron, as the potter's vessels shall be broken to pieces. As I also have received from my Father, and I shall give him the morning star. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the assemblies. Chapter 3. And to the messenger of the assembly in Sardis write, he who has the 7 spirits of the Most High and the 7 stars says this, I know your works, that you have a name, that you are alive, but you are dead. What's the odds that who he was talking about thought that they were alive and would have never believed in a million years that they were dead? And it would probably slap you across the face for even considering it. What's the odds? But we're not like that, are we? No. Wake up and strengthen what remains and is about to die, for I have not found your works complete before the Most High. You notice he keeps talking to the assemblies, right? What are we all here for? Is this us assembling together? It is, isn't it? What brought you here? That you do believe, you don't want to fool with the world. You would rather be hearing something about Abba, Yahuwah, or Yahusha, or the Word, than hearing something about death and destruction in the world, right? You have that. But what do you have if you can't come search the scriptures, the word, the tree of life with your brother? What do you have if you think he's wrong and you can't work it out? You don't care if he's wrong. You're laughing and mocking and scoffing. It's safe to say that you should wake up and strengthen what remains and is about to die, for I have not found your works complete before the Most High. It's safe to say whoever's doing that is in that category right there. Remember then how you have received and heard, and watch and repent. If then you do not wake up, I shall come upon you as a thief, and you shall not know at all what hour I come upon you. Nevertheless, you have a few names in Sardis who have not defiled their garments, and they shall walk with me in white, because they are worthy. He who overcomes shall be dressed in white robes, and I shall by no means blot out his name from the book of life, but I shall confess his name before my Father and before his messengers. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the assemblies. And to the messenger of the assembly in Philadelphia write, he who is set apart, he who is true, he who has the key of David, he who opens and no one shuts, and shuts and no one opens, says this. Can you open that? Can I open that? And he says no one can but him, right? Can we shut it? No. If it was shut and only he can open it, and he opened it, is that something you couldn't believe that? You can't believe that a door that only he can open, he opened? That's something you just can't understand that? Did you know about that door before he opened it? You knew about that? You've been waiting for someone to open that door? Is that what it is? And you know that the word don't say what I've been saying? Is that the case? Because I'm pretty sure that's what you think, right? Well, if that's the case, why aren't you here showing me? Why don't you care? Why don't you love your brother and your father? Why don't you labor? Where are your works? Where's your faith? Where's your belief? Mishpachah, wake up now before it's too late. I know your works. See, I have set before you an open door, and no one is able to shut it, that you have little power, you have guarded my word, and have not denied my name. See, I am giving up those of the congregation of Satan, who say they are Yahudim, and are not but lie. See, I am making them come and worship before your feet, and to know that I have loved you. Why does he keep saying that? Could it be that that's what the door is that it is involved with the opening of the door, the key of David? Because you have guarded my word of endurance, I also shall guard you from the hour of trial, that which shall come upon the whole world, to try those who dwell on the earth. See, I am coming speedily. Hold what you have, that no one take your crown. He who overcomes, I shall make him a supporting post in the dwelling place of my mighty Most High. He shall by no means go out, and I shall write on him the name of my Most High, and the name of the city of my Most High, the renewed Jerusalem, which comes down out of the heaven from my Most High, and my renewed name. Did you catch that? Which comes down out of the heaven from my Most High, and my renewed name. It comes from his renewed name? That's what he said, right? It comes from that water, that fountain of life, that truth. It's the way and the life. It's the tree of life. That's where it comes from. That's what it means, like I've been trying to tell you. That's what it means when it says comes down from heaven. It does come down from heaven, but you can't see it coming in the sky. The Most High pours out his Spirit onto us. We don't control the throttle or even him to even pour it out at all. He pours it out to who he wants. And if he pours it out on someone and it's not you, who are you to decide whether he does or not? I can tell you who you are, though. If you don't believe it and you don't come to try to work it out, you do all the things I've been trying to show you that's going on right now, you should know what kind of person that is. Prove it. Prove it to the Most High. Prove it to us that that's not you. Prove to me that I don't need to be trying to wake you up and shake you right now to get you to snap out of it. Prove it to me. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the assemblies, and to the messenger of the assembly of Laodicea write, the completion, the trustworthy, the true witness, the beginning, the true creation of the Most High says this: I know your works, that you are neither hot nor cold, or you're neither cold nor hot. I would that you were cold or hot. So because you are lukewarm, and neither cold nor hot, I am going to vomit you out of my mouth. Because you say, rich am I am made rich, and need none at all, and do not know that you are wretched, and pitiful, and poor, and blind, and naked. I advise you to buy from me gold refined in fire, so that you become rich, and white garments, so that you become dressed, and so that the shame of your nakedness might not be shown, and anoint your eyes with ointment, so that you see. As many as I love, I reprove and discipline. So be ardent and repent. Quit denying him loving you. And if that's not what this is, and you don't need love, I mean, how else, how other, tell me some more ways that you want me to configure this equation for you. And we'll just keep going through them. We'll keep running through possible scenarios, huh? But what's the answer going to be every single time? See, I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I shall come into him and dine with him, and he with me. Who is the Messiah? He said he's knocking on the door. Is he not the Word? Is he not the truth? Is he not the way? Is he not the life? Is refusing to come read and reason with a brother, is that opening the door? Well, we can say for sure that it's slamming the door on him, because he's the Word, right? You have the opportunity to come and correct me, because I'm wrong, right? You have the opportunity to serve the Most High, to be a worker in the field, to do this deal. But if you don't, and you can't, and you would just rather spectate, are you hot or cold? Are you getting vomited out of his mouth or not? I mean, I've give you a pretty decent mirror here to look in. And like I said, I'm sure that there's plenty of people right now that's saying, yeah, what about the mirror? You looking in your mirror, you're the one that's wrong. I'm sure you're saying that. And I'm going to say it one more time. And it probably won't be the last time. Come prove me wrong if that's what you think. Come prove that you love your neighbor and that you're not above someone else. And it's not just about you. Come prove it and prove me wrong. And I mean, you can keep saying that I won't believe it all you want, but you've never come to try to see. How do you know if I won't change and believe it? Come prove it. I'm asking you. To him who overcomes, I shall give to sit with me on my throne, as I also overcame and sat down with my Father on his throne. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the assembly. Chapter 5. And I saw in the right hand of him who sat on the throne a scroll written inside and on the back, having been sealed with 7 seals. And I saw a strong messenger proclaiming with a loud voice, "Who is worthy to open the scroll and to loosen its seals?" Are you? Are you worthy? Am I worthy? And no one in the heaven or on the earth or under the earth was able to open the scroll or to look at it. No one was. I'm not worthy. You're not worthy. There's only one, and you know who it is. And I wept much, because no one was found worthy to open and read the scroll or to look at it. They couldn't even look at it. Me or you couldn't even look at it before it was opened. And one of the elders said to me, "Do not weep. See, the Lion of the tribe of Yehudah, the root of David, overcame to open the scroll and to loosen its 7 seals." And I looked and saw in the midst of the throne and of the 4 living creatures and in the midst of the elders a lamb standing, as having been slain, having 7 horns, 7 eyes, which are the 7 spirits of the Most High, sent out to all the earth. Why was he slain? It says these are 7 spirits sent out to all from the Most High to all the earth. Why'd the Most High send him? To talk shit, to ridicule, to say, "Aha, see, told you so." Is that why? Or was it to because he loves us? Is that why? That's why, isn't it? And who's the Lamb? He's Yahushua, right? But is he the Word? Yes, he's the Word. If you can't open the Word to come prove to me that I'm wrong when I'm trying to tell you that we need to wake up, what's being done to the Word? What's being done to it? Are you visiting him when he's in prison, or when he was naked? Right now, when he's calling for you? And if you think I'm wrong, isn't he saying, "Come, please"? This young man, he's trying to get you to come show him that he's wrong. You have an opportunity to work for me. That's probably the voice you should be hearing right now. You have the opportunity to go work for me and show this man why he's wrong, and help save his soul. But what will be done? More than likely, and I hope not, but if I have to, I have no reason to think that anything different's going to happen. I do know that the Most High can do anything, and I do know that people will come and snap out of it. But according to the way things have went, the Word is going to be slain. It's not going to be picked up. And he came and took the scroll out of the right hand of him sitting on the throne. And he who took the scroll, and when he took the scroll, the 4 living creatures, 24 elders, fell down before the Lamb, each holding a harp, golden bowls filled with incense, which are the prayers of the set apart ones. This involves so many lives outside of our own. I mean, we have so many other people to consider. This is not just about ourselves. He's the Word, right? And only he could open the scrolls. Does that not tell us that only through the Word can those things be opened and read and looked at? Is that not what it's telling us? Is he not the way, the truth, and the life? Is he not the one that has the key of David? The one who opens doors and no one shuts, and shuts and no one opens? Right? Or was it you that was worthy to open that scroll? Was it? And if you think that I think I was, again, come prove me wrong. Come show me how I am. I don't want to be that kind of person. I don't want to be doing that. As long as I'm here and I'm willing, that I can answer this phone or comment, and you want to come open the Bible, we'll Skype if you want. I don't care. Whatever you want to do. Come right here in person. Let's do it. Anytime. As long as I'm breathing. I can't say anytime because I might be dead. But if I'm alive and I see you message me, and until I prove to you that that's not the case, you've got nothing to stand on. You can't say that I wouldn't do it because you haven't tried. And if you had to guess by the things I've been doing, would you say that I wouldn't be willing to open the Bible and look to see what it says? You'd have to agree with me, right? That judging by the way of the things I've been doing, I should damn well I should have no problem opening the Word with anyone. And they sang a renewed song, saying, "You are worthy to take the scroll and to open its seals, because you were slain and have redeemed us to the Most High by your blood out of every tribe and tongue and people and nation, and made us sovereigns and priests to our Most High, and we shall reign upon the earth." On the earth. Is that a false expectancy? And I looked, and I heard the voice of many messengers around the throne, and the living creatures and the elders, and the number of them were myriads, and thousands, saying with a loud voice, "Worthy is the Lamb, having been slain, to receive power and riches and wisdom, strength and respect and esteem and blessing." And every creature which is in the heaven and on the earth and under the earth, and such as are in the sea, and all that are in them, I heard saying, "To him sitting on the throne, and to the Lamb, be the blessing, and the respect, and the esteem, and the might forever and ever." And the 4 living creatures said, "It is done." And the 24 elders fell down and bowed before him who lives forever and ever. Right here in Revelation 6, it says, in 14, it says, "And heaven departed like a scroll being rolled up, and every mountain and island was moved out of its place." Am I wrong to say that the reason it says like a scroll is because of the same reason that I said it don't literally come down out of heaven, that it's the truth that comes from the Most High? And what's the truth? The Word. Am I wrong to say that that's not literal? That it's not literally going to roll back like a scroll up there in the sky? That the truth is going to come out. And this is why you read what you do in 15. "And the sovereigns of the earth, and the great ones, and the rich ones, and commanders, and mighty, and every slave, and every free one hid themselves in the caves and in the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, Fall on us, and hide us from the face of him sitting on the throne, and from the wrath of the truth, because the great day of his wrath has come, and who is able to stand?" Who is able to stand? Am I dead wrong when I say that what the Word has shown me is that's all beginning to happen right now? And I guarantee I could go to my Google News feed right now, and we could find as many articles as you want that's going to show you that is the case, that it's happening, and it's only going to intensify. So if that's the case, it's pretty safe to say that the great day of his wrath has come, huh? And who is able to stand? It's pretty safe to say that if we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing, we're not going to be able to stand. It's pretty safe to say that if that's the case, that anything else we could be doing would be horrible of us to be doing right now at this time, being how his wrath has come. If we love our brothers and sisters and we don't have time to reach out to even talk to them, to converse with them, open the Bible with them, or to spread this message, to work in the field, share the good news of the rain. If we don't have time to do that, but we're living in the time of the wrath, and we got time to do anything else, other things, it's pretty safe to say that whoever is behaving that way, they're not going to stand. Isn't that safe to say? Yeah. Now, would it be safe for me to say that what he means here in 14 of chapter 7, when he says, "And I said to him, Master, you know, and he said to me, these are those coming out of the great distress, having washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the truth of the Lamb, the word, the way, and the life. Because of this, they are before the throne of the Most High and serve him day and night in his dwelling place. And he who sits on the throne shall spread his tent over them. They shall hunger no more, neither thirst any more, neither shall the sun strike them, nor any heat, because the Lamb, the truth, who is in the midst of the throne, shall shepherd them and lead them to fountains of waters of life. And the Most High shall wipe away every tear from their eyes." Is it safe for me to say that distress is the hiding, the blindness that I've been talking about? And is it safe for me to say that what he means by washing our robes in the Lamb and the truth, that would cause us to be standing before the throne, where we serve him in his dwelling place, where he spreads his tent over us? Would it be safe for me to say that what I've been saying is true this whole time, and that if I'm wrong, come prove me wrong, but because you won't, is the reason, in part, why I'm on here doing this, why you're hearing my voice? Is it safe for me to say that that is proving to the Most High and to you that I love you, and that I do love you, and I'm trying to snap you out of it? Is it safe for me to say that? And that if you don't come and try to prove me wrong, and you just let me go on, and you continue to think I'm wrong, but you do nothing about it, is it safe for me to say that regardless of whether I'm wrong or not, you need to snap out of it? It's pretty safe for all those things to be said. I'm positive. Prove me wrong. Abba willing, I'll be right here. Come and show me how I'm wrong. Show the Most High you love him. Show the Most High that his word is who leads you, and that you do love your neighbor and him. Show me that washing your robes from this great distress in the truth won't lead you to Yerushalayim. Show me, prove to me that if you don't, you will have no escape. You have no expectancy. Abba will be waiting.